Internets, this episode of the Combat Jack Show is supported by Al Jazeera America. This Sunday, watch the true story of drug dealers, dirty cops, a government conspiracy, and the man at the center of it all. Part 2 of Freeway Crack in the System airs this Sunday, March 8th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss a special encore of Part 1 at 9 p.m. only on Al Jazeera America. And now back to the show.
Yo, what's up? This is Kool Keith, and you're listening to Loudspeakers Network Productions.
Get ready for combat. No escaping. Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat. Yeah. The Combat Jack Radio Show. Stand up.
Internets, this episode of the Combat Jack Show was brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your ideas. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and an incredible 24/7 customer support. Try Squarespace at squarespace.com and enter offer code COMBAT, COMBAT, at the checkout to get 10% off. Squarespace. Build it beautiful. Yeah. Internets.
Chit. Yup.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, internets. You were tuned into the Combat Jack Show, the combatjackshow.com.
Shit.
What up, Premier
What's going
P?
on, Combat?
Man, we got Ben Hameen in the booth right now.
You know
What's
what
up,
that
Ben
means?
Hameen?
Yo.
You know what this means, internets. You know we're going to be playing some records. We're going to play some records. And you also know what that means. That means that we got somebody in the studio that's worth DJ Ben Hameen being here to play these records.
Yeah.
We got this individual in the booth on the Combat Jack Show has contributed so much to the golden age of hip hop and then flipped it, you know what I'm saying, and expanded it in the alternative world of hip hop.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying, was on one of the biggest records of all time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even understand how one man can have so many. Listen, internets. Without further ado, we got Kool Keith on the Combat Jack Show. Welcome to the Combat Jack Show, Kool Keith.
What's going on?
How you feel, man?
I feel good. I feel great.
Yo, man, your man, Kool Keith is in here with this scarf that is so glorious right now.
Well, I buy all types of scarves. I'm a scarf collector of all types of material and fabric scarves with sparkles on them. Well, you know, that's when after my career in Los Angeles, I went into the scarves.
Business?
It just sort of, it was a point. It was a point of me hiding on the stage and making my own little Maybach curtain or something.
Okay, now what
I ain't mad at that.
What kind of scarf is that right there, man?
Oh, this is something. I guess it's something with something. Anything that shine was.
You like the shiny scarves,
the shiny
right?
Scarves.
That looks like the inside of the placement of the china closet.
Nah. Actually, like I was saying outside, man, you kind of look like Elijah Muhammad with the scarf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how you been, man?
I've been all right.
Yeah, you looking great, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what you heard
I ain't
about.
seen you in a minute.
Yeah, the last time I seen you was in, when New York was New York, man.
See you on a train one night.
On a train, and we was lit. And
Only
I was
good
like,
people ride the train, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
I was like, I couldn't believe we was on the A train with Kool Keith.
Yeah.
You know, this was years ago, man.
Yo, what did Combat look like back then when he was on the train?
He was the same. He had a black coat on though, because everybody wears a black coat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you better watch out for anybody who wears a black coat in New York City, especially back in that day.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you were wearing a black coat.
Everybody had a black coat. You had a black coat on?
What was inside the black coat?
Listen.
Okay.
Let's get back to the show, man. Keith, man, I don't know what you heard about the Combat Jack Show, man. What did you hear about this show?
You just go at people. You do what you want. Like, I heard even Eric was telling me one time. I heard y'all just go in.
Okay. Well, I want to give you a platform, man, to share to these internets, particularly these younger cats, man, your history, like just to really understand, how you guys changed the game, how Ultramagnetic. You grew up in the Bronx, right?
Yeah. We grew up in the Bronx, up in the South Bronx area, and Sad was up there, KRS, Boogie Down Productions. That's how we came out. Sad worked on Ultra and Boogie Down Productions.
Now before that though, you was a dancer.
I was a dancer. You pulled that one up. Activity.
Yeah, you was like doing the robot.
I was a good dancer too.
Now you was, man. I saw some clips.
Yeah.
I saw this one clip. You was kind of had like the rerun type of
stuff. Yeah. I was dancing way back. I was definitely a dancer.
You were doing the worm?
I didn't do the worm.
Was that really what you wanted to do,
down.
man? Was that really?
No, well, I used to dance with Shaq Crew back then.
Okay.
We used to go against Fable and Wiggles.
Right. Now, I saw this clip, though, where you was actually dancing in front of Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan.
I went to this, it was me, Mr. Wave, New York City Breakers. You know Michael Holman?
Yes.
Took us out to Washington, D.C., and we had this big dance thing, and Ronald Reagan paid for us to come out there and everything. We took a flight to Washington. I never forget that. We danced for that after party, that Reagan thing. It was some Reagan thing. They had a party, and it was at some center. I forgot what it was.
The Lincoln's
for.
Was it the Jefferson?
It was something.
The big joint in
Washington.
In Washington, where all the performances are.
Kennedy Center.
Kennedy Center. Was it Kennedy Center?
Yeah.
Now,
Catherine. It was for a lady too. I forgot the lady's name. You might have to pull that.
I don't remember, but I just remember looking at the clip. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Kool Keith."
Yeah,
dancing in front of Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan.
I don't know what I did. I was nervous as a motherfucker.
Oh, word. Now, were you recording at the same time, or were you ultra before?
I was dancing all the time.
Right.
And then when I met Sad, I just started going back into making records.
Right.
I was a secret rapper at that time when I was dancing. I never exposed my lyrics out there.
So you were just like rapping
quietly,
practicing, thinking you was gonna be a rapper. Because back then there wasn't a lot of rappers that was doing it.
Nah, LL and all of them had records out, and Houdini,
Run DMC, and
Run DMC. I kept my mouth closed at that time. Then I was waiting to see what I was gonna do.
Right.
And then Tila Rock and them came out. And all that stuff. Then we came out later.
Right. Now, how did you come up with the concept, Ultra? Because from what I understand, initially you wanted to rap, and you were supposed to be a solo artist, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be a solo artist with myself, but I had to do an album with Sad, because Sad's brothers was good singers. Remember when Ready for the World and all them was out? That was originally supposed to be their production, Mastermind Production, but at that time.
So Ready for the World was down with Mastermind?
No. They had remember they had all the slow jam groups out back then.
Like Force MDs.
Force MDs and all them slow, the Silk and all of them.
Yes.
And what they was called Troop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he had a group in his house, Mastermind Productions. They was doing slow jams, but at that time they wasn't signing slow jam artists back then so fast. So they had to go to me and Sad as a rap group. I had to play the role of a rap group before we came out, which I wanted to be solo back then, but that was the key to them. The investment and the money of Ultramagnetic was supposed to come out first, then get his brother a deal. But Sad on Sad, quote, Pat had passed away.
Right.
But that was Sad's loyal brother and said, we're going to sacrifice our singer career to get the rap thing. Because rap was hot.
I mean, and it worked.
Yeah, we had to come out first. We thought we was going to bring them back in.
Right. How did y'all come up with the name, man?
I had named the group Ultramagnetic, highest form to attract, Ultra and Magnetic to attract. And I just said, let's do something different. And then we had a conflict with Stetsasonic, which was our long name group rivalries.
Stetsasonic, Ultramagnetic.
Yeah, people used to, you down with Stetsasonic, right?
Get out of here.
Yeah, I used to hear all these different mess ups, like, you down with Ultramagnetic. You down with Ultramatic. You with Stetson Magnetic. You from, you Sonic Stet, right? You from Sonic Stet. There was a lot of, did
it bother you at the time or no?
I thought people was trying to be funny.
Right.
Like they knew, but they was just trying to be like ignorant.
Now, did you always have the name Kool Keith?
Yeah. I just kept it simple.
You kept it simple.
Yeah.
And so you guys are in the studio, you guys are doing records, and at the same time that y'all in the with Mastermind Productions, there's a young group, the BDP, like Boogie Down Productions.
What's funny, like KRS wasn't even with BDP. He was with Celebrity 3.
Now, who was Celebrity 3, man?
It was KRS and Jerry Lewis and some other rapping dude. I forgot.
Were they hot at the time or?
They were pretty good. I mean, Celebrity 3 was good. A lot of people don't know that. They thought it was just Boogie Down Production. It was Celebrity 3. But it was weird. But Sad was doing the beats and stuff, helping Scott with the SB12 and showing them stuff. But Sad used to do all their beats, and then they put their little music on top, they sounds. That's why you used to hear them records sound like the drums from Ultra stuff be the same catalog of drums on their stuff.
Now, we had Marley Marl on the show.
Yeah.
And Marley Marl talks about how allegedly, did you ever hear the story that Said swiped his drum kits?
Well, what I heard was Trevor was more like the sticky hand thief.
Okay.
But
allegedly, we not.
But I think I heard Marley left his sounds up at a record label
at a studio.
At a studio. At
a record. It was either a record label.
Was it Power Play or something?
No, it was
Power Play.
Yeah.
It was Power Play.
Yeah.
In Queens, right?
But for Ego Trippin', I bought all the drums from everything we had. Like I bought the records to him personally, like Woman to Woman, Funky, the Melvin Bliss. I borrowed the record from Steve Martin in Parkchester. That all the singles that we had, I bought the records. But a lot of the records we didn't use Marley snare. It was only the BDP snare. Remember the Bridge is Over snare and the snare from the Bridge MC Shan's single. Was all he had was that one snare that he uses that a lot of people liked it. That tat 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 tat. Remember that? We came here, ladies and gentlemen. That same snare he used.
Now when y'all,
we didn't get a lot of his drums though.
When y'all was coming up, who were the cats that was out here doing it big time? That y'all was like, that were inspiring you, man?
I mean, let me see. Well, it's funny. It was weird. Like Public Enemy came out the same time we came out, but it was weird. Like they had the sound and the machine behind them, but I saw Keith and Hank, and they was like, "Yo, when I first ran into them, they said, "Yo, we loved y'all. We listened to y'all." But before we even met them, Sad had TR was the king of getting everybody's album before it came out.
Okay.
And we was listening in the car one night, riding to Philly in a limo, and we was just hearing these records like My Uzi Weighs a Ton and all these records, and we was like, this group sound like us. And we was like they got the sounds and the James Brown stuff and you know the scratches and stuff. I was like, wow, it was like there was a blueprint of Ultra, but flipped. But then we didn't know what label they was coming out.
Right.
Then we heard later they was coming out on Def Jam, and it was like, and then we found out like we was like, damn, they must have heard us or heard about us. But this happened till later when I really talked to them. They said, yo, we used to listen to y'all at that. Remember they had that radio station in Long Island and stuff?
WHBI.
Said,
I mean, WHBI. It was a W, not a,
some station. But the point was, when we was listening down the highway, we was kind of figuring like, damn, this is our competition right here. The only thing that really made them stand out more was they had the machine behind them. They had like Def Jam promotion, which was, we was originally out first, but they beat us national with the promotion, and then they made more of convinced to the public in the history that they was the main group first, but we was originally first.
But you know, I mean, I think when you
locally
really, you really listen to what was going on back then, man, it was definitely that competition in terms of that sound, because y'all definitely, like, y'all was in every car, man. Y'all was like in every neighborhood. Y'all was killing the radio here in New York.
We didn't even need radio. Right. You wake up in the morning and see a Spanish dude walking down the street with a big radio out your window. MC Ultra walking up the block 3 o'clock in the morning, and another Jeep ride past, another station wagon, another limo or whatever, Regency 88. Oldsmobile ride by.
Let's play a piece of that record, man. We played a little bit on the intro. We'll have to play this.
Buick Regal.
This is the first record that. This is the first record. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you was about to say?
All that record be everywhere.
But this is the first.
I would walk through different projects and people just say MC Voltron. They didn't know what it was saying.
They thought you was MC Voltron, right?
Yeah, I just be and you know what's funny? We didn't have no video.
So how did they know it was you?
That's what I was tripping on.
So this is.
But they seen covers. They would look at covers meant a lot back in the days.
This is your first record that put you on the map.
Yeah,
the Ego Trippin'.
Pictured artwork. That's crazy.
Party people's in the place to be. Just for you, it's the Ultra Magnetic MC. Say what? Here, what the hell with childish rhyme? Cause the jam is just moving. The crowd is steady moving. To a supersonic pace. With high to stupid bass. With some pep in the step. Cause the beat is so funky, the pace is well kept.
MC Voltron.
That's what they thought it was saying.
Yeah.
Kool Keith. They use simple back and forth, the same old rhythm that a baby can pick up and join right with them, but the rhymes are pathetic. They think they quote aesthetic, using nursery terms, at least not poetic on an educated base. Intelligent, wise, as the record just turned, you learn, plus earn by the flame of the lyrics, which cooks the human brain, providing overheating knowledge by means causing pain, making mind brain headaches yourself start to melt while the techniques spin. The wax is on the belt, motivating clockwise. The more you realize, more love's moving steady by most. We're ever ready, like a battery charged and work the alkaline. Yes, the mystery to solve. So seeking to find these words I've given, extreme and out driven with a Datsun, a Maxim of the guy. Yes, the wizard Kool Keith, and I'm sporting my rhyme, cause we're ultra.
Now, Keith, man, when you first started this,
Yeah.
I heard this interesting story about how you really developed, how you were trying to develop your style, and you wanted to make it real complicated. Like, talk about how you develop your style, man.
Well, I was listening to every rapper, and I was like, we got to come out with something different. Like, out of everything, we got to come out with something different. But, like, only group we was listening to was the Treacherous 3.
Right.
Because we didn't want to do the Yes, Yes, Y'all, and You Don't Stop. They was the first group rapping, really. Like Mo D, Special K, and
LA
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yeah.
They was using words. Like, you know.
Mo D was using them syncopated big words, right?
Mo D and them was on the big words. And we was like, we don't want to just go to the bip, to the bop, to the, you know. So Tila Rock came out. We was a big fan of that. When everybody was using the big words,
right?
Like when Tila Rock was coming out,
LL was using a lot of big words.
Yeah, he was using the circulatory, adversary, missionary, whatever word was sounding so gigantically 17 feet long. They was using. Right. So who else was in the big word? Mantronic stuff.
Was into big words, yeah.
Or his artists, what he had, it was just only a few. And we was like, let's get on that wave. And Tila Rock, and who else was it? I mean, Just Ice came with a little bit of it.
Just Ice was a savage. He couldn't finesse those big words like y'all was, man.
Yeah. But Just Ice was always cool, though. He was like my best friend. I mean, it was like Just Ice had one kind of, when he did that what was that? Cold Get Dumb.
Yes. Mantronics produced that.
Yeah, Cold Get Dumb was like that. Was that when that came out? That was crazy.
But talk about how your style though. You was gonna use big words, but
we said we gonna use the big words and make them fit without rhyming.
Right.
Like our thing was not to make them go together. Like everybody else had to make the words. Pronunciation, aviation, coordination. We would say whatever. We go into the store, elevation, sequence, power, format, condensed system. Nothing went together. We was like, we're gonna make this ride together.
Did you ever catch that, Ben Hameen?
Yeah, definitely. It didn't make sense.
Yeah,
but the flow was there.
Yeah, like we was like, we're gonna trick everybody. We like people getting high, but we're gonna make this stuff sound like it's good. But people, it went by their ears. They was like, this shit is flowing.
Not because it fit, because the beats were so big.
Yeah, that was the job I had to do, is fit the big words on top of the beats.
And your voice was perfect, man.
Hell yeah.
And
you had the craziest voice. Now,
like I never had like Rakim had got duplicated, and a couple people had got their voice intimidated. There was more duplicated.
Right.
Me, I never had my voice. I think me and Shan never got duplicated.
Now, tell me what was the dynamic, the rap dynamic between you and Sed, because as a fan, I'm gonna tell you.
I was in charge of the lyric department. Okay. Sed was in charge of beats, and Trav was in charge of beats, and Mo We had 3 beat makers and 1 person in charge of the lyric department,
And that was
I had
you.
to be.
No shots, but I could not stand Ced's flow.
I had to write a lot of Ced stuff, but
Right.
then Ced started writing on the second and third albums on his own. But
He got better.
On Critical Beatdown, I did a lot, but it was enough to make the album go over and get to be a classic because I had to touch up what he was writing and make sure things fit. I make sure Ced.
So
do
you was
something
writing
over.
for him.
Like I'll write certain bars
Right.
and he'll piece up the rest because he was working hard doing beats.
Yes.
So I had to make Ced not have 2 jobs.
Right.
But he was definitely doing beats.
Because he sounds awkward.
Yeah.
On especially on the,
using privileges and that.
he's
but
like
he-
forcing it.
Yeah.
It was flowing with you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But come on,
Ced-
you had to understand.
Ced got
too.
good now though. He got his pronunciation got clearer
Right.
back then. But it was like funny that you know what it was. The beats were so good. They let Ced just get by though.
Now you didn't know if this was like a gamble,
Yeah, it
like
was a
just putting all
gamble.
these words together,
Yeah,
and you could have definitely failed.
of course. I wouldn't have been sitting here today. But like you said, that was a gamble, one time shot.
And what do you think?
I had to roll the dice.
What do you think picked up the record? Was it radio? Was it Red Alert? Who made the record hot so that it was?
Well, we was originally 500 Vinyls was signed with DNA. Like we was with DNA. Remember DNA? DNA with Hank Love.
yes.
It was DNA was the first that had 500 copies of Diamond International was signed with Ego Tripping, but Red Alert took us to the next plateau to start pressing up a bigger amount.
Right.
We had to step off from DNA with the 500 vinyls.
Right. 500.
But that was hot on the street.
Yeah.
Ego Tripping was hot before it got to the next plateau. That's why Eddie O'Loughlin signed it. That's when the record picked up more.
And is that why you guys had? It seemed like until the album came out, you guys had
like 7 singles.
You guys had
10
singles on different labels.
Yeah, we couldn't get no record album out for nothing. Like we did about 10 singles.
And y'all were trying to get a record.
Trying to
deal.
get a record deal. We was turned down a lot though. Like these kids have no idea of the record closing doors. Me and Ced walked to. That's when you could walk. Remember the days you could walk into Freddie Bastone's
Yes.
office and Spring Records, Richard Wyman. These people dissed us.
And-
Richard Wyman told us, "I don't hear it. I mean, you guys can come. Why don't you guys come back and bring me some other stuff? You got anything else? Those guys used to feel good back in the days dissing many artists.
Right.
Those guys downtown from
Yes.
Broadway all the
Right.
way from 59th
Like
Street
so,
all the way
4th
to
and Broadway.
Yeah, they had a good time dissing many rappers. That's why I know they feel bad to this day that they out of business. And they not those companies are closed.
Right. Yeah. All of them labels is closed.
They felt they did a lot of disrespectful things to people.
Of course. The music industry. Not saying that the music industry is a lot better now.
Brian Chen, remember all
Brian
these
Chen.
people?
Yes.
Yeah, they was dissing people hard.
Now let me ask you something, man. On Ego Tripping, man. Why y'all going at Run DMC, man?
Well, in Ego Tripping, I matter of fact, I saw DMC. He was like, "Yo, I thought," he said, "I love that record." Even me and Run, we was like, this record was fun. We didn't really go at Run DMC bad. We was just like, we was using them as like, we're gonna do the record as not as a strong diss. We was just saying, we was like, we wanted to go at the Run DMC for the back and forth thing.
Right.
Like we was just saying, not Run DMC was more like back and forth rhyming. But we was going to say
they
we
did
was
have
going
the nursery style.
but the nursery
rhyme.
style. So
Right.
we was going to say we introducing the big words. That's all we use Run DMC, not for a hard diss. I mean, I loved the Run DMC all my life. When Together Forever, Tougher Than Leather, Run's House, and all that stuff.
I mean, they were the kings of rap.
I just used them as like for that rap. Like we thought Run DMC be a good plateau to start the big word thing,
Right.
with,
A good experiment.
But we never went back at Run DMC after that.
They never fired back at y'all, did they?
Nah, well, we was always like we was fans of Run DMC, so we never we just did it in a it was more in a humorous
jab,
way,
like a little jab.
humorous way. Like it wasn't like serious. I mean, Russell Simmons to this day, I don't think he's mad about that. I seen Russell. It was a part of hip hop,
Right.
so it was like it wasn't like a total big diss to them. I liked the Run DMC with the leather jackets and the hats and the, and the style they had, but that style was like, it what Run DMC did was take what Mean Gene and them did commercial. Mean Gene and them wore the Dobbs and the Stetson hats with the feathers.
Yes.
But they took it.
That was more of an uptown.
That was Mean Gene. The L Brothers wore they wore the
fedoras.
hats, the fedoras. That was theater on them.
And the pea coats.
Yeah, they was the first ones. That Mean Gene, how you see Jam Master Jay and them look, that they took the fedora style and the pea coats and took it to Queens.
They ran with
but they took it international.
Right.
But that was Ecstasy Garage,
right
there.
But even going back at Run DMC, that was like when hip hop was more like competitive as a sport, like where it was like, look, we're gonna make this track, but it wasn't like it was more competitive. These days I think it's people are too emotional.
Yeah, what Run DMC he was good at was they took an image that was so simple and made it big. Like they could wear it every day.
Yes.
Like you
they
could
dress
wear,
like us.
You could wear a fedora and some leather pants and some black Adidas, and that was the uniform. A black hat was an image, and they killed rock bands all across. Like even rock bands had big bands, and they just came out with 2 leather blazers all the time, and they was killing people.
Well, let's talk about killing. Talking about killing people. Y'all came out with Ego Tripping, right? Yes, the record was hot. It was undeniable. But motherfuckers was like, who's these ultramagnetic cats? These guys have a different sounding name. These guys, different rhyme patterns. And then y'all come out with this.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yo, what's up, Kool Keith?
And we was killing them with this.
Yo, what's up, Sad Man? Over there, he's ready to get bit.
That's when we was coming back to back. I bought said this record.
Told you about it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it into my
It's Joe Cocker, right?
Yeah. He passed away, I heard.
Now that's funky. I tell you, boy, we all
That's when you knew it was over, right?
turntables, and you gonna call a record that mix with those. Get it now. And we gonna do this. It's funky. I know you.
Yeah, that was on the radio hot.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That was that Benzie box, man.
Yeah.
That was that JVC.
Right. I bought a band. That was good. That was crazy.
Bringing back memories, right?
Man.
My voice stays on no soprano.
To get overheated and burn while the techniques turn for the UL. The T's are A. You gotta copy.
You know that catchy groove, right?
Spin it every day. You wake up and try to make up a rhyme that fear me. And let me tell you straight, I know you hear me. And when I'm on the stage, you just cheer me. Up another level, down below. I'm throwing with the devil in a cage. I'm on the rampage. You need another? Wanna know my age? Psych. I carry a magnum. Other groups are only harassing. Wait, why you debate? I hesitate. Observe your wax styles. You've been rapping, talking for miles about nothing. Cause you don't amaze
was wild.
me. I'm like a game, everyone plays me. Regular, extended to the bonus. For some of you, I think you should have noticed it's funky.
Word, man, that was funky.
Yo, is that bringing back memories right there?
I bought this record said one morning. I found it in the house, and I was looking. My father had a bunch of 45s, and I just was stacking through. It was all dirty and dusty, and I said, let's just do this record, loop this. I brought it up to his house, that Joe Cocker Woman to Woman record, and I brought up there one morning. I said, we need another record now, a second single, and that record was like a hot record, like that piano come on. Latin Quarters, that record was the biggest record.
Well,
when that record come on, that was a big record.
that was the record that got a lot of motherfuckers killed.
That was the Tuck Your Chain
That
record.
Yeah, when they played that at the Latin Quarters, and them Brooklyn niggas was in there.
Yeah, they go crazy on that record.
Yo, that was when you was like, yo, let me tuck my shit in.
The Homer
Like, you wanted to hear that record, but you didn't want to hear that
Fall to
record.
the bushes.
Right. You people start going to get their coats.
Yeah, you couldn't be by yourself. You had to be by your crew or by somebody that was security or something, man. Like, when that record hit, man, did you know that one was going to be a hit?
I didn't know that one was going to jump off. I mean,
Stop playing, man.
Yeah, even to this day, that record has a classical sound to it the way it was made. It's like Red Alert likes it. You know, even Flex loves that record. A lot of people love that record for some reason. Like, I didn't know that record would stick out so much like that.
But this one was the one that was like, okay, at least to us as fans, it was like, y'all are not one-hit wonders. Y'all really got that heat. And y'all had other singles, but that one right there was undeniable. Maybe, I don't even want to say top 100, top 50 hip-hop records of all time.
Yeah, that one right there was like this, you know, the way that I came in, the lyrics, I bought a band, it was just, everybody trips out, even Red Alert, he trips out on that verse. Everybody trips out. And like, he just told like a story. It was no lyrical. Like, we wasn't trying to be lyrical or nothing either on that record. We was just trying to have some fun.
Right.
And
those beats were so hard, man. Like,
right?
yeah. I mean, look, you said some things that were, but the beats were so hard, man.
And once again, this is what I loved about Ultramagnetic. The beats were so chunky, and then your voice is so like high pitched. It's like crazy, man. Like, did y'all bring this record directly to Red Alert, or did he snatch it and start playing?
I gave Red that record. I gave Chuck Chill Out that record.
Right.
I delivered that record straight to Marley Marl's house. It was weird. Like, I bought those records straight to everybody. Like, before, like, we didn't have no, you know, viral. We didn't have no internet to blast out a song. I had to go by hand and deliver them records like a messenger. Like,
but the good thing was like,
I remember I took the record to Marley's house one day. I took it to him. He was working with Kool G Rap or something in the kitchen on a track. Like, I go there and take the record. He's in Marley Mar's got his studio set up in the kitchen, and somebody doing vocals just in the living room. And that was real recording.
Yeah.
Said had his set up in the house, and everybody had their closet booths and stuff.
Did y'all record this in a home studio?
We did this at 1212 with Paul C.
Paul C. Did he engineer this record?
And before Paul got killed.
Right.
We did this record with him.
Wow.
No, matter of fact, we mixed this at Chung King. Yeah, but we thought we was going to get the sound. We was amazed. We was like, oh, everybody go there from Def Jam. Let's run over there. You know, back then they had INS,
yes.
Chung King. What else they had? Power Play. You know, that's where everybody used to get robbed at.
Yeah. So, like, let's not go there.
All the Fat Boys got robbed over there. Like, that was the robbery studio.
Right.
So, Chung King was in Green Street. That's
Green
when you
Street
had
Studios.
the big money.
Yeah.
You know, $200 an hour.
That's where Eric Sadler and the Bomb Squad was.
Oh, yeah.
So, when this record came out, man, like, when did you realize, like, yo, we on a roll right now?
We still didn't make it out of New York City yet. And this record right here took us to Philadelphia and Jersey and Connecticut, upstate Boston, and that was it. We wasn't going. That's when we were managed by Def Jam.
Right.
We didn't get
y'all was signed to Rush?
Yeah, we was on Rush management. Russell and Leor used to come up to Polygram to try to talk better situations for us, and you know, we was with Andre for a minute. Andre Harrell,
but hold up,
Uptown.
But hold up. This is the record that got y'all the deal, right?
No, Ultra got us the deal.
Okay.
Ego Trippin' got us the deal.
Ego got y'all the deal.
Yeah.
And y'all was signed to Polygram.
We signed to Polygram. No, we signed to Next Plateau.
Right.
Polygram was that second round.
The second album.
So Funk Your Head Up.
So Critical Beatdown came out on
Next Plateau.
Y'all did a video though. Like, how did y'all end up
traveling at the speed of thought? That was the only video we did.
But how wasn't that through Uptown? Like, what were y'all doing with Uptown?
We was just managed by Uptown.
Okay.
For art and direction and dressing and wardrobe and style, and you know, Andre was like, you know, y'all should look sharp. Let's go get the Gucci stuff from Dapper Dan. Let's go get made up, because he said you guys can't come out with a good album like this with some hoodies and sweaters on. So Ultra cover, originally the Critical Beatdown was like, it had all the rappers on the floor dead, but if you see the Critical Beatdown, it had
not y'all, other rappers
like dressed up as who they are.
Like who'd you have on the cover? Like
every rapper that was out was on the floor. So you had like
L on the floor.
You see Kane goes on the floor.
you had Kane on it? Was Kane out at the time?
You see some suits on the floor. You see
some pocket squares.
But we didn't do it like a name. We put the
visualizations.
What they call it, the
subliminals.
We had everybody on the floor. laying under our feet, like their hands sticking out. But if you move the beat down, Jeanette Beckman took the pictures. If you see the real pictures, it was like they was on the floor. That was the name Critical Beatdown. The album was Defeat the Competition. We had we had all that on the floor, everybody on the floor and the rocks. But we didn't have what they say, the names have been withheld to protect the innocent.
Right.
We didn't have the names of the people. We just had lookalikes of different
So
things.
what changed the concept?
We that album, it was just the Critical Beatdown was going over that.
Right.
You didn't see it. So it just kept, they might saw a hand or a sneaker sticking out or something. That was that.
So was it Andre that convinced y'all to go to Dapper Dan?
Yeah, Andre said, let's get the suits cleaned up, and we liked the outfits. We was the second. Eric B and Rakim had theirs. They was wearing the MCM. I think they had we had Polo.
True.
They had
True.
what they was
True,
wearing Dapper Dan too, but I think they had on what was their name? It was Polo, MCM.
So was it Louis at the time
and
too?
Gucci. I think Dapper Dan. I think Eric B and Rakim wore Gucci.
They had the Gucci's.
and we had Polo.
You had the polos
all
like
over.
So your shit.
Polo and leather.
So your
and
shit,
velour.
the red and black outfit you had on,
Yeah.
which was crazy.
Yeah.
that was a,
And I had the hat to match with it, but I put a Budweiser hat on. I don't know why I did that.
yo Keith, you crazy.
I took
man.
the hat away, and I don't know. I threw the hat in the garbage and put a Budweiser hat. on.
Budweiser give you a check for that?
Nah,
Oh, come on, man.
I know.
But the good thing about this though is that for the albums that was coming out at the time, and you had a lot of good albums, Critical Beatdown is a classic, man.
Yeah. Well, think about. Remember that dude used to be on 42nd Street. That big dude used to sell those records. Stanley used to be on Broadway.
Nah, I don't remember
And all
Stanley.
them 12 inches would be all hanging up.
By Tower or
Over there in that square by Times Square.
Okay.
That big 12-inch store.
nah,
Used to be
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so all those records had to be hung up to be attracted to somebody to buy them.
Right.
So the covers used to look good, them covers had to be attractive because we didn't have no internet and stuff like that to sell no records. So people had to go in the store and look at the record and be like, oh, I like that shit. The cover look good. I'm going to get that anyway.
My biggest
But
disappointment.
what was good was
Go ahead.
the covers look good, but the music inside was good. Nowadays, you have the cover look good, but the music is bullshit.
Right. My biggest disappointment with Critical Beatdown is Ego Trippin' was on there. But why wasn't
But
Funky? Why wasn't
I know
Funky?
Funky was
Why
on
was
there.
Funky not on the album? B.
I know that was funny too. They pulled it didn't make it because I don't think Sid had the mix back then. He lost the.
Come on,
He
man.
lost the dats or something. I don't like you said. People was mad, and then they had to get it on a B side or something.
Yeah. Because
It was a single.
when
Same when
you
Poppa Large was on. When that was on the Four Horsemen album. The Funky had they couldn't
Funky
get
Head
it.
Up.
They couldn't get Poppa Large on
the album.
album.
Which is crazy. Because
Well, you had to do some marketing gimmicks also.
right.
To make people buy the records.
Let me ask you though, man. When this record came out, right? It's a hot record. People are loving it,
Yeah.
and then y'all break up.
Well,
Ultramagnetic breaks up, right?
we break up
Why?
after it's Critical Beatdown, right?
Yes, why?
But we get back together.
But why did y'all break up?
Well, we was mad at we was trying to get away from Eddie.
Okay,
We was trying to get away from Eddie O'Loughlin,
O'Loughlin,
next plateau. Because, we seen a lot of stuff when Lior was going up to the meetings and stuff. He was like, well, the guys got hit records, why they can't get rotation. You're throwing Salt and Pepper on rotation and stuff like that. But he was like basically telling Lior in a different way that, well, Ultra don't need a lot of radio. I don't got to use a lot of money and resources to get them hot. They was hot in the street anyway, so I'm going to save that money and put that into Salt and Pepper.
What?
Which they needed more
Promotion and right.
because those records had to go through radio, push it and all that. And the stuff they had, which they were a good group, but they stuff had to go through radio with more push and pop.
They had to push it in because
Yeah.
those weren't
They wasn't street
natural
driven.
records like y'all was.
Yeah, they wasn't driven strongly on the street. And then, I finally got the news from Uptown, Jimmy Jenkins and stuff. They were saying that Eddie don't really want to push y'all because he feels that y'all was strong in the streets. But I saw Eddie one day and he I saw him lately. I saw him late one time, real late in time after that album. Years later, he's like, I didn't know what I had. I should have pushed you guys because I had you guys. I mean, you guys were big, and I don't know. I put all my things in one basket. I was so much.
I made a big mistake.
I was into salt and pepper so much, but
that record would have been so
Salt and pepper.
big nationally,
Yeah.
man.
he was like, I should have got behind you guys, and it's a terrible mistake I made. Like, and he went on to house music after he felt that he did that big mistake.
He had to move.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't have beef with each other, did y'all?
He liked me. He was always.
No, I'm saying within the Ultramagnetic group.
No, we didn't have beef.
It was a tactic.
It was a tactic to get out of there, and I wanted to do a solo album.
Right.
And I wanted to do a solo album with anybody, but I was like, he was like, you should stay with Seth, and we'll make something happen. And plus, me and Seth had renegotiated our contracts over there too, because the publishing stuff was unequal, and we went in and made them renegotiate. To me and him got 50-50,
Right.
and that's one thing we did with Next Plateau was take care of our business early to this day for us to receive checks and stuff, which was
Because your deal must have been
equal.
fucked before.
It was whack.
Right.
And we fixed that right away, and that's when I made the move to fix it.
Okay.
Because the way Eddie had it, he had said getting everything, and I'm writing, I'm getting nothing.
Wow.
I pulled this, I'm going solo, and
Right.
they hurried up and fixed that deal
Did that create tension with you and Seth?
Not really, because they needed me, because I was a real, like you said, I was a real energy circuit in that whole organization, that group. They couldn't let me leave, and they fixed that right away. Janine fixed it. Eddie's like, okay, we're going to renegotiate and fix this thing right away and get this, and it got fixed.
Yeah. How was Leor at the time?
Leor spoke very highly of us. He went in for us fighting.
He fought for y'all, right?
In Polygram, and he was pulling people's cards in the right way. He was telling them, this is what y'all should be doing. It's no such thing if y'all can't get added on radio. Ease Back was added on rotation. That was on BLS every morning.
Right. So Leor made that happen.
Well, no, that was when we was with Uptown. Jimmy Jenkins made that happen.
Jimmy Jenkins.
But we went over to, we was at Rush at Polygram with Ego Trip. With Critical Beatdown, we was with Uptown.
Right.
With the second album, Funky Header, we was with Rush.
Was Puff around at the time?
Puffy?
Yeah.
Puffy was around, yes, he was around at Uptown. No, Puffy was around at Uptown, but I was supposed to work with Puffy a lot of times, but I never could get with him because he was supposed to, when Craig Mack, and that's when I was going solo too.
Right.
When Craig Mack and Biggie came out, Puffy told me, he said, Keith, when you get to L.A., I remember when Puffy had a Volkswagen Rapid in New York, Puffy said, I'm starting something new soon, Keith. I mean, when you make a move, I want you to come with me. Soon, I got some good things happening. I want you to come with me. And then I moved to L.A. That's when Craig Mack came out, Flavor in Your Ear. So he wanted me to do an album. Puffy, matter of fact, wanted to buy me out of Columbia, my contract, but they were Sony was so scared to let me go because they figured I had some place I was going. That was supposed to be an album. Puffy had a plan of
so you would have been
Busta Rhymes.
You would have been Bad Boy.
Yeah, he was signing. He wanted the Black Elvis album. I went to Skip Sale and we met with Puffy. Puffy, I was managed by Jeremy Lorna. We talked on the phone. He always wanted to do some futuristic things with me, but it was just that the labels was hating to release the contracts.
But when you think about it, though, man, you could have been. You were like the pre-Craig Mack, man.
Well, he didn't have he didn't want me to be Biggie.
Right.
He had alternative ideas.
Right.
He know my capabilities of selling to the rock audience and the alternative world. He had big ideas. He was like, maybe you and Busta Rhymes and somebody else gonna do an album together. Like he was trying to figure out a group that's gonna go into that market of that other world.
You Busta Rhymes and Pooh Bah or somebody?
It was like, but it was the plan that he had was more like it was more rock orientated. Because Puffy was pretty open minded. I think he had more like bad boy rock something like that.
In his mind, like
Yeah.
Bad Boy Rock Division,
Yeah.
Bad Boy Hip Hop.
Yeah, it wasn't like popping bottles.
Right,
though.
right,
It
right,
was
right.
something else. Like he had. Like,
That's crazy.
So, and to this day, me and him was real cool. He was catching me when I was on the road. He called me. I spoke to him here and there, but I couldn't catch up with him.
Right.
He couldn't catch up with me. Our timing was really bad.
Both of y'all was super busy.
Yeah, I was traveling, doing Black Elvis tours when he was trying to hook up and stuff. But I did meet him and Skip Saylor in L.A., but we never could get Sony played hardball trying to release the contract because he wanted to get me out of the Black Elvis thing because Sony held that album up for years.
Right. Okay. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
But this, after Critical Beatdown, right? After Critical Beatdown, y'all do this record. Y'all do this record right here.
Oh, yeah.
Chip.
Chorus line, right?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, y'all? We in the Ultra Lab, man. We got this beat rolling, man. We might as well start this course line. Y'all with that? Yeah, let's do this shit, man. Yo, so how we gonna do this, yo? Matter of fact, you know how we gonna do it? Yo, Tim Dog, you lead it off, all right? All right.
Gotta expose this guy.
That's on you. Take it, my brother. Call me the hick, the thick, the lick, the dick, the spick, cause I'm too quick. I'll be appraised and raised with the brave. I'm the headmaster and you're my slave. Metaphor master, rhymes all disaster. Pass the class, the faster, call me the master. You wanna check, project with a simile, but I'm so large I'll
Boom, your girl Emily.
You wanna be taught?
I want to hear Keith's part, man.
Uphold, refold, in tow, cause I got soul. Many dollars, scholars, hollers. Girls wanna stop and talk, but I walk away. Cause dog don't lay. Rappers wanna play, go ride a sleigh. I'm compared and there with the stare. You say where, I'm over here. Metaphor, physical, rhymes are artistical, lyrical, miracle, difficult, to some terrifical, hypothetical.
Terrifical. Lyrical, miracle. Terrifical.
Tim made up his own words.
Rhymes will stick more, dog will get more. Yes, y'all. I'm impressed, protest and progress. Confess with reflex, cause I get co-sex. I can't believe how dope I am. Give me a pound. Thank you, ma'am. So whether you think that I'm just a myth, the rip,
Fuck a 16 bar.
Tim was cool.
Woo! Hot damn, I'm great. I'm on the chorus line. It's the chorus line. It's the chorus line. It's the chorus line. Yo, trap. Yeah. Yeah, boy, it's the chorus line. Hey, yo, Keith. Yo, you know what? It's your rhyme.
I'm cranking up with the rhymes, brain tanks need fuel, Sunoco. Diesel rhymes are locked in. Combustion attitude, gratitude, increasing altitude, levels.
I always had
but
the big
changing
words.
attitude. It's very rude when you step on my path. I laugh and giggle, smile and grin. My friend, my style was thin. Holds the rights to win your brain. I've been like a pound of steel, lethal power. To me, your weasel power. I'm overloaded with tons of diesel power. Contraction, you're not ready for action. 200 rappers a day, I keep waxing, buffing, cleaning, polishing every act up. You wanna battle with me, you must be cracked up. Stop the jokes, the games you're playing. You never will stand a pan. One bit of attention to me, my rhymes, my clothes, my hat, my shoes, my shirt, my tie. The glasses on my eye. I try not to cry, cause the whack is ever, never better.
What is like, the 22?
Yeah, man.
Whether or not you try to
Yo.
scheme a dream or beam of light.
Yo,
But my lights are bright, but my lights are bright.
how did y'all find Tim Dog, man?
Tim used to stay with Sad. He was working for Metro North, and he was coming up there, Miss Miller. I used to go up to Sad's house a lot and
Right.
go to the store for his moms and stuff, and they'd be up there. Tim was like a boarder up there, kind of, but Tim was staying with Sad, and, they lift weights together up there, and every time girls would come over, they all pull out their weights and put grease all over their bodies.
Yeah.
And stuff. Him
Yo,
and
stop,
Sad was
man.
like weightlifting battlers, and they stayed together.
Right.
Tim worked for Metro North, and he was just stayed there, and Tim was like, I kind of vouched for Tim to get on because Tim was a rapper, and Tim loved Big Daddy Kane, but Tim wanted to battle Big Daddy Kane so
he
bad.
got
like,
Big
but
Daddy Kane style.
He wanted
all
to
in his-
battle Kane, like he wanted to take Kane's style, but show him that I got this better than you, and that's what I
He
kind
didn't, though.
of bugged out. He wanted to battle Kane so bad.
Did you used to be like, yo, Tim, fall back?
Yeah, but I was like, then he went. That's when Tim made the daring move. Like a lot of people thought I had something to do with him when he made Fuck Compton.
Right.
Tim came out with Fuck Compton. I said that was the most daredevilest move ever. Which it was like. I said, you dissing Compton? I said, I'm not a part of that, really. I said, you on your own. You know, he's like, yeah, Rough House want me to diss Fuck Compton. So I was like,
So that was a Rough House idea.
nah, he was like, I'm going to give it to Rough House. Like, they loved it. But, you know, he was like, y'all support me with it? I said, I never really support rappers dissing other artists if it wasn't clever. That's one thing that's never been in my history of dissing artists. But when he did it, I was like, you on your own with that. But it jumped off for him.
Yo, first of all, play that record a little bit, man.
Fuck Compton jumped off. And I was like, I said, you know, I said, I have nothing to do with that one. So
Beat was so nasty.
yeah.
I hated him for this record.
I
was in Houston,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was like, fuck you.
Who the fuck is this one?
Yeah, fuck him.
Oh shit. Motherfucker, step to the ring chair. Cause Tim Dog is here. Let's get right down to the nitty gritty and talk about a bullshit city. Talking about niggas from Compton.
It was hard though.
Compton, they truly ain't stumping. Tim Dog, a black man's Taz. I'm so bad I whip Superman's ass.
That was wild.
You suckers that rip from the West Coast, I'll diss and spray your ass like a roach. You think you're cool with your curls and your shades. I roll thick and you'll be yelling out raid. A hard brother that lives in New York. Well, suckers are hard and we don't have to talk. Shut your mouth before we come out stomping. Hey, yo, easy.
Fuck Compton. Fuck Compton. Yo.
I said, wow. When
You
he
know
did
what-
that, I was like, wow. But Tim was going in Daredevil mode back then.
It was Daredevil mode
He
because
was just like,
you didn't fuck with Compton. You didn't fuck with them West
Yeah.
Side cats like that. Them cats moved completely. Them cats came from gun country.
yeah.
Yeah, how was he trying to diss Big Daddy though when he's like a student of him?
Yeah, it was just that was the power. That was how these people were back then. They can beat you at your own style.
And that's how he psyched out he was.
He psyched out like, I'm gonna meet Kane one day and I'm gonna battle Kane.
But Keith, as the top lyricist in that group, right?
Yeah.
And you dealing with cats that's not necessarily the top lyricist.
Why they mind frame is like that?
Did you ever keep it real like, yo, Tim, these beats right here is making you so hot, but fam, don't get it twisted.
But you know what's funny? I think he was so charged on our beats that he felt that. He felt that power coming up his body or something. Like he felt it in his body. Like these beats are making me so hard I can take Kane at night. Like the steroids in them beats was in his body. Like I can take Kane tonight. Like, and that was his goal.
Right.
And I heard, you know, I gave him credit for the confidence he had. That's one thing, he had the confidence, and he did have confidence. Like he would literally say, "I'm gonna go to a club and meet Kane, and I'm gonna let him know I'm gonna battle this man with his own shit."
Yo, there's two records I think in the history of hip hop where you have rappers that are not really good, but they're classic albums. And the first album that comes to mind is Group Home with Premier. I think that's the worst combination, the best combination of non-good rappers and amazing beats. And then it's the Tim Dog album from beginning to end. Them beats is so it's a classic album.
Yeah, that the beats that Trevor and Said filled him when he on that album on Straight Out. What is his album called?
Fuck Compton.
The album.
Penicillin
on Wax.
Penicillin on Wax.
That's a good album. I want to find me a copy, but you can't find no copy. It's hard. I think Tim had the greatest production on that album that made it the solid album. Like they gave him some good beats. Like,
did you feel a kind of ways though because those beats on
we didn't
Ultra,
get those beats.
Yo, were you mad about that shit?
They gave Tim a better graded beats on his album.
I know.
And I was like, why y'all ain't make that for us?
Right.
But it was like he came way after Critical Beatdown. I think that's when Trev was at his apex.
Right.
And they just gave him, he had the top beats at that time for his album, and they gave him some hot stuff. And
damn,
I was like, man,
if that would have been
I
on the
didn't get
second Ultramagnetic. Y'all motherfuckers would have been sealed.
I don't know
in
where they
history.
had got that spark from when they did that album on Columbia. They had definitely had a spark when, Kurt Woodley signed them to that deal. It's like they charged up and made some good beats on that album for him. The beats was incredible.
Crazy.
What was the one he had? He had a lot of them on there, like Bronx nigga,
Bronx,
all those. I was like,
Wild
man,
and the Penal.
yeah, all those tracks. Yeah,
Step to me.
Yeah, they gave
Step to me.
That's one thing they gave him. They gave him a lot of heat with a good album and made him lyrically become
better
good
than what
record.
he actually was.
Yeah,
they knew he needed it.
Yeah.
Internets, this episode of the Combat Jack Show is brought to you by Al Jazeera America. This Sunday, don't miss the true story of drug dealers, dirty cops, a government conspiracy, and the man at the center of it all, Freeway. Cracking the System is the incredible tale of the rise, fall, and redemption of Freeway Rick Ross, the man considered responsible for ushering crack cocaine into Los Angeles and ultimately across the United States. The special two-part event exposes how the intersection of new drug laws, the Iran-Contra scandal, and the rise of gangs like the Crips and Bloods in the 1980s helped fuel the rapid spread of crack cocaine into black and Latino neighborhoods around the nation and led to the incarceration of millions of Americans of color. Part 2 airs this Sunday, March 8th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Missed Part 1 last week? Catch a special encore airing at 9 p.m. right before Part 2. Check your local listings or visit aljazeera.com to find Al Jazeera America on your cable or satellite system. And now back to the show. Let me ask you though, man, did you ever have any beef or any problems going out west?
Nah, because I was never a part of that. It's like when an artist beefs with somebody, the beefs is really from the artist. I don't see the cross collateralness. I wasn't involved in that.
Right,
so,
right. But you know how niggas are though, man.
Yeah, but if they
go that Kool Keith.
Oh yeah. But I seen everybody in L.A. They didn't say nothing to me about it because they knew him. That's his aura. But people know your aura from the past. They don't include you in with that buffoonery because I didn't do my whole past. They seen what I was doing.
Yeah.
They said this dude rapped about his own way.
He was on your own way.
Yeah.
But did Cat step to Tim?
I don't know. Tim went on those tours by himself, but he had but he had a thorough crew with him. He had took the whole Webster Projects with him on the road and stuff like that. But I was like, good luck to Tim. But I was like, I didn't go on none of that stuff. But I mean, I seen DJ Quick and them and stuff like that, and Battle Cat and stuff. They ain't never say nothing to me. A lot of times, them dudes took it very humorous, and I think a lot of them guys may be a little too sensitive. Dr. Dre and them, they take it personal and stuff like that. But they. If you're gonna be a lyricist, you got to be a phenomenal person that could take. It's like boxing. You take a punch, you give a punch, but you can't be mad. I think a lot of those dudes took it kind of hardly, even probably working with me. Like they feel sensitive towards that. That's something that happened years ago, and that was a part of rap music. But it ain't had nothing to do with me. But. If you're going to be mad for 30 years till you get, 50 years till you get gray hair about that, those are things you're supposed to laugh at, especially, you moved on in your life and stuff like that.
Now, R.I.P., Tim Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Did you stay in touch with Tim?
I was with Tim sometimes. I saw him in Atlanta when he was living in Atlanta. Right. Then he had the NBC thing that was
the expose of
the woman and
scan was he really doing? Did you know if he was really doing this?
Tim was balling out in Atlanta. I seen him ball in Atlanta. I got off the plane. He gave me 4 G's out of nowhere. Slapped it in my lap and said, "Let's go party." I think Tim was like, And
you ain't even question where you got this from.
I didn't say that. I just thought he was balling out of control. Right. He was going to Cheetah Club every night and Strokers and anywhere. Tim. And he had little rappers under him. Right. Iggy Azalea was up under him.
Really?
Yeah, Iggy Azalea.
Iggy was signed to Tim?
Iggy was one of Tim's artists. Tim had he was like the Hitler, the Black Hitler. He had artists up in his house, washing dishes. He was Black Hitler. He had artists on his house, artists telling them when to go to bed.
He was a dictator.
A dictator, like a Black Hitler. And I was like, this guy is really doing it. He's like, yo, don't mess with my artists. Tell them to go to bed. Get in the bed. Like,
go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Wow.
So I was talking to the artists. They was like, yeah, Tim got me in this. We working, but I'm in this little prison. You know, I seen Iggy up there. She was like, "Yeah, I want to do my rap thing. You know, I'm from Australia and stuff." And it was funny that he stopped really working with her. He didn't know that person was right under his nose.
Right.
And I seen her. I spoke to her many times. She was rapping around the house and stuff. And then
slaving away with the
I don't know.
ball and
Like he
chain
had her
on the
doing
ankle.
stuff.
Cooking breakfast.
Yeah, he had most of them doing like chores and like going to the store, driving his car to get bacon and eggs for him. Like the stuff he had his artists do. But it was funny he had that talent right there, and I think she went out and got trap beats and stuff.
Right.
And learned the etiquette of talking and the language of black people, and she went out around Atlanta and found opportunity. And
She probably wasn't ready back then.
yeah, she wasn't ready back then. But they used to, Bushman, my partner, would be freestyling with her in the house and stuff like that. And she ended up, probably hooking up with T.I. and that Grand Hustle
That's crazy,
stuff.
man.
And,
That's crazy. I didn't know she put it in like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it go to show that you never know who's around.
Yeah. When Tim Dog passed, man, the craziness that was around his death, like, was he faking this? Did you knew?
First, I thought he was, but Tim is.
You really
good.
thought he was?
Yeah, Tim is very good at anything, and Tim would try something like that. But I just, I kind of like couldn't believe it until. But Tim is known for doing anything that can be wild that I couldn't believe it myself. So, people had to go investigate the hospitals to really find out because Tim is notorious for any type of stunt that he's capable of pulling.
What's the wildest stunt you've seen him do, man?
I seen Tim get like this guy to bring cars. Tim was like, we're gonna get Phantoms in the morning. I seen the guy pull up with all these cars in the morning. He's like, "See, I told you he was getting the cars. The cars was out there. The guys bought the cars, and I said, Tim, where you get all these cars? He's like, don't worry about it. I made the calls. The guys in the yard parking all kinds of cars. He said, yeah, I told these guys, that I need these cars, and I worked out some sponsorship with them.
He was a hustler.
Yeah, Tim is a good talker. Tim
Right.
can make you he can make you trade your house or something.
Your mortgage, right?
Yeah, but he's good and he's a smart person. That's what I'm saying. His manipulation is really good. Like he can turn into a white man on the phone, and you think you're talking to
To a Jewish
another guy. You think you're talking to Johnson Murphy and company
Right.
on the phone, and it's him.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Next,
Because I've sat next to him and heard him talk. Well, basically our stocks have went up, and
really,
we're trying to work our campaign for this. Like, and I'm like sitting next to him, like, is that Tim? You sitting in the car with somebody, you like,
damn, you just became a different person.
yeah. So I'm like, I've seen him go in action with his persona change.
Right.
Like he don't gotta be, yo, you know what I'm saying, son? Know what I mean?
He know how to play the game.
Yeah, he can make a call and be Mr. somebody else.
Tim Dog was a hustler, but he also wasn't all the way there.
Yeah, he can
There was
convince himself
yeah.
that he can be real business.
Next album y'all do, man, the second album. If y'all finally get the second album, it's on Mercury. It's Funk Your Head Up, right? It was kind of disappointing because it didn't have.
Well, we had Dave Gossett came in and signed us, but they got too creative. Lisa Cortez, we signed. Of course, we're going to sign with a label that got Vanessa Williams, a group called Mari. Black Sheep was over there.
Black Sheep was big over there at the time.
But they was more controlling. That's when ultrasound got out of control and controlled by the company.
They were trying to really make y'all pop or something?
They went and got these dudes from, they started getting production suggestions from the outside and stuff. And I think we lost that street edge over there a little bit.
I didn't understand the first single. What was the first single? The baseball joint.
Oh yeah, Black Baseball. But other than that, we were signed to a major machine that needed something to work with. I guess they was too big to understand those records like Eagle Trippin' and Funky going through the streets.
Right.
They was so big of working Brian McKnight.
Right.
Which they was more into Brian McKnight and singing and Vanessa Williams,
but this record right here that Ben Hameen's about to play was it on that album.
Yeah.
funk, hype the funk, swipe the funk and all that junk. I get busy on them, communicate with the world, man, woman, a baby boy and a girl. Poppa Large, looking out the bombs drop. Take your stride while you're facing arms drop. Stop, look, learn to read, learn to write, learn to talk, learn to walk, and watch your step though. I'm hyped.
Been right though, Kleptomaniac, Rhyme Psycho, never record.
Yo, you lost your fucking mind on this record, B.
Well, the video took the record off the roof.
Whose idea? Like, I'm gonna tell
I
you.
worked with it was what's the name shot that video? Hunter.
Hunter, no.
Paul Hunter.
Paul
Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah.
Paul Hunter shot that
Wow,
video
early.
Yeah.
Was that his concept? Whose concept was it, man?
Kevin Bray.
Okay.
Kevin Bray
Used to be in the videos, right?
Kevin Bray shot that.
Right.
And it was like, I was tripping when he wanted to do it. I was like, he said, you getting up. I had to get up like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was 10 degrees doing that video.
And you had shorts on.
I went to a Staten Island old mental house.
Was it
that
Cropsey?
torn down.
Was it the Cropsey?
That was old and decrepit.
Was it the Cropsey Hospital?
4 o'clock in the morning, 10, I think it was.
South Shore?
Some hospital in Staten Island. And it was like 10 degrees. You see the smoke coming out of my mouth. But the angles and the way he made that video look like Dr. Frankenstein or some shit. Like, and the whole thing was, after the video's finished, he shot it in such a raw area, like 35 millimeter, it looked like movie film. It was like a horror flick. It was just that video. The ideas it made it look sick. Like
the chair spinning around upside. You was spinning around upside down in the chair.
Yeah.
Yo,
they
listen.
tied me in a harness and stuff. That video took a lot of me because I was like, damn, this motherfucker is 10 degrees. The shit I'm doing. I don't think no rapper could ever do that fucking video.
But you didn't know how it was gonna look either.
I didn't know how it was gonna look. I just thought this shit gonna come out whack and stuff. But it came out good.
When you first seen that video, Keith,
it was crazy because I was like, they had my eyes moving fast and the goggles. I was wearing those welding goggles as an image one time. That was those goggles.
And then your teeth were fucked up too, man.
Yeah, I had the gold tooth and
then you would take it out.
Yeah, I had a gold tooth right there that I pluck in on the top. It was real ill. It was like that video was like a real video of me, just me bugging the fuck out. Like, so it looked at Psycho anyway. It was like Psycho in the mask. Everything was more like a wild ass video. Like it just was wild.
I'm gonna tell you,
Sadness was in it in different parts. It was just a movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. That video, I'm not exaggerating, man. To this day, that's one of my top 10 rap videos of all time.
Well, that video is just like that's a monster flick.
Yeah.
In its own way. It's just me, and it was just focused on me. You didn't need location changes. It was just all in that one area in different places, sitting, laying back with the doctor, working on your body. The concept of that video was just so fueled up.
Lobotomy and the whole nine.
The record matched the video too, and the video matched the record.
Now, why did you have a solo record on that, man?
That record, they felt I should have did that record by myself. The Beatminds was producing it, and I remember I had to work to get them lyrics right because I was in the studio with the Beatminds. They was like, they said you got to rock these lyrics, man. And that record was a do or die situation for Ultra to save that album because we didn't have nothing to work with.
I didn't know the Beatminds did that. Did you?
Nah, I didn't, but when you hear it, you can hear it definitely.
I didn't have nothing. I didn't have nothing to save them. That was the album that was supposed to save them. That album right there,
and it did. I mean, it got you to the next album.
That record right there was they needed that record to save them.
Yeah,
we didn't have no singles or nothing.
Yo, listen, let's go to a quick break. Internet, you tune into the Combat Jack Show. We sitting here with the legendary Kool Keith, Dr. Octagon, Poppa Large,
Black Elvis,
Jackie Jasper, Black Elvis, Doom, all types of fucking names.
Forget about it.
Listen, F your radio, F your TV show, and F your podcast.
Cheer. Be right back.
Internets. Building a website can be tough. And even if you do know your way around coding, creating something that looks good and works well is a time-consuming affair. Whether it's for a business site, portfolio, restaurant, or whatever else, in this day and age, you probably need one anyway. Well, lucky for us, Squarespace makes it easy to build beautiful websites without breaking a sweat. Squarespace provides simple, powerful, and beautiful website templates for you to work with. Not only that, but those templates are part of Squarespace's responsive design, which means your website scales to look great on any device. Mobile, screen, desktop, laptop, the whole nine. Further minimizing the hassles of making a website on your own. Every website you build also comes with a free online store if you need it. Just need something minimalistic but powerful? Their cover page feature also allows you to set up a beautiful one-page online presence in minutes. Seriously, you can't beat the ease and simplicity of Squarespace. Squarespace gives you 24/7 online support and a beautiful website for only $8 a month. You can even get a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year. What are you waiting for, internets? Start a trial with no credit card required and start building your own incredible website today. So go to squarespace.com and punch in the promo code COMBAT, COMBAT, to get 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for the Combat Jack Show. We thank Squarespace for their support. Squarespace, build it beautiful. And now back to the Combat Jack Show with our very special guest, Kool Keith. Internet, you tune into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com. We got our guest this week, the legendary Kool Keith. Kool Keith, that was a big record, man, Poppa Large, huh?
Yeah, he was telling me it was big in Houston.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
Yeah.
So that was the record that broke the boundaries within the states, right? Beyond New York, right?
Yeah, I think that took me international, solo. That record took me solo,
That was a hit.
International.
But you mentioned earlier, man, that when y'all did Poppa Large in a sense saved Ultramagnetic, but at the same time it was like the apex of the Ultramagnetic run.
Yeah. For me, that was like a branch to me going solo, like
Right.
the last farewell, probably. But we went to the Four Horsemen too.
Four Horsemen, which was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool, but it was like, you know what? This is not
That was the apex of
this
that.
is not the ultra, this is like the swan song of the Ultramagnetic cats that we knew. But, you know, after Four Horsemen, right?
Yeah.
You decided to move out west.
I moved to L.A.
Why?
I had got tired of New York. I mean, I wasn't getting beats, and it was a different downhill movement. It was like I think my creativity went into a crossroads of trying to figure if it was going to go left or right. And I was like, that's when New York had the bottle popping and stuff. So
The bad boy era, the shiny suits era.
yeah, I mean, then I went to L.A. I said maybe I can be more open-minded and make something different.
Right.
And I got to L.A. That's when I landed, and I went to Gavin Convention. I met LO7 South, and he said, I want to sign you. I went to L.A. Then I went to Sacramento. I mean, I went up to Santa Cruz, and I cut a record with Kurt was a fan. He used to we used to
Come
go
Master Kurt.
Come Master Kurt used to show set in them where they buy records at. I mean, Trevor and Mo, and Kurt ended up sending me a cassette to my house one time, and it was funny. And I ended up opening that, like, oh, who's sending me this envelope with a cassette in it? And then I played the beats. You know, some people never usually play a cassette that
Right.
somebody send them. I happened to play it, and there was some dope beats on it. And I called him, and he's like, yo, what you doing? Like, you know, I know you're not doing nothing. He flew me out to Santa Cruz. I worked on some tracks. We went to Gavin Convention. We saw LO7 up there. LO said that's when hip-hop was more real and A&Rs was more real. It wasn't like fake as New York was.
Right.
You know, New York people, I'm signing you, come into my office. They ain't signing you. They want to give you some water and potato chips. You know, give you a Sprite out the refrigerator and let you hear a couple whack artists and give you a couple CDs to leave.
Yeah,
You remember those days?
So it got dry. You felt that it was dried up.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So I just went out to L.A. and
And they were treating you differently.
he said, come out to L.A., man. It was like, he said, Gary Gershom, make it happen. We get the paperwork going. I remember I was in New York. I couldn't get no beats or nothing from nobody.
Producers
at
won't
all.
give you anything.
Producers wasn't giving me nothing. It was like the ending or something. Like, remember that cartoon, I'm Just the Bill, Dollar Bill,
Yeah,
Capitol Hill? I felt like
you got
that.
rejected.
And I said, I just got to get out to L.A. I'm like, New York is dry right now. Nothing is happening. I went out to L.A. They signed me. Capitol Records signed me. Channel Live was over there, and everybody was over there. And I ended up with a deal at for Sex Styles.
So you was working on Sex Styles, right?
Yeah.
And then how did the situation with Dr. Octagon come about? With
Sex Style was put on the back burner too with Capitol. They never put it out.
You had but
they gave me the budget for it.
Right.
Capitol I had one of the most distinctive record deals in my career.
Play Sex Styles for a second.
It was a recording fund.
Right.
A place to live and a deal. You know. This record was wild.
I love this record, man.
Sex style. Niggas want it free. They dogs drink my piss.
That was L.A.
Sex style. Niggas want it free. They dogs drink my piss.
Just the rhymes was crazy, right?
Sex style. Niggas want it free. They dogs drink my piss. You want freestyle? That's right. The style is free. Niggas suck my dick and they girls drink my pee.
Pause.
I'm also them shit you can't get with. Pull your baby down
Good
on
pause.
and watch you sweat quick. Suckers back to pull they style is transsexual. Lesbians dance with the funky heterosexual. You on the mic and when you rhyme I start to jerk off. Let my dog lick you German Shepherd wanna bust off.
Hey.
Yo.
That's crazy. That was a hard record.
I into New York, no problem with my dick out. California,
I was mad at New York party then.
Seeing what with sperm dripping down your partner's butt. I see him season my
Yo.
face, put they ass up. Let me put my cape on, my rubber and my mask up. Not no hardcore shit, this is pornocore. I'm in the club naked, man. I'm the fucking pro. Niggas can't wax no ass, girls should let them know.
Sex Style.
That was the shit.
Yo.
They dogs drink my piss.
Yo, what were you doing in the club naked?
Yo,
Well, when I
were you into porn at the time?
No, when I got to L.A., the porn world opened up. As soon as I got to L.A., I got to
turned
deal
out, didn't you?
with the Capitol. I mean, F.M. Bradley was at my house, and Jimmy Z and them, and
Yo.
you know, Ron Hightower was my neighbor, and I'm seeing Jeannie Pepper walking the dog up the street, and you know, every person that I seen on Players and you know the magazines back, Blacktail was starting to come out the magazines into my life, seeing them like at the store, the mall, at the supermarket, and you like, that's such and such. That's the girl. That's
So the whole
who's that? That's Angel Eyes. That's Ebony Hayes. And
So the porno industry influenced you when you got to LA. That's what welcomed you when you got to
when I got to LA, I stayed in Beverly Hills first with me and Kurt. And then when I moved closer to Capitol, Hollywood Boulevard was such a freak block, like all the clothes in the window. My mind was just boots and everything, and the whole Hollywood Boulevard was just sex stores. You know how you go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Then my block I stayed on Sunset Martel. I had like 30 prostitutes at the corner and pimps. So my whole life, as soon as I walk to the corner, I see the visuals of the album every time, every day. So I walk to the corner, Rock and Roll Denny's by the Guitar Center is nothing but pimps, girls with their ass cheeks hanging out. Every morning, walking in the store, working the strip. Sunset Boulevard was a whore strip, like Hunts Point Market.
Right, and this is why you recorded.
And I'm recording. That's all my visuals. I see Hollywood Boulevard, Capitol Records, and I got to walk with my groceries past pimps with jerry curls and chicks with their ass hanging out in front of the street. And I live in a quiet Russian block.
Right.
So that concept was like cool. That's why the album cover looked like Sunset Boulevard and stuff.
With the colors?
Yeah, the album, I just took the album picture in my house with a Polaroid and they artworked it in.
Who was that chick on the cover, B?
That was on Spontaneous Ecstasy.
Yo.
Tim was going with her.
Okay.
She took the album cover
Tim
picture.
was with her?
Tim was with Spontaneous Ecstasy.
Right.
And then she took
I used to stare at that cover, B.
Yeah. It's like that cover was
chick.
that cover won like a best cover in different magazines, and I saw in Oakland and San Francisco like top album covers of all time. That just the artwork was so crazy. I had a Moet with a flower in it, Cocoa Puffs.
Now,
the album cover was not taken by a real record company.
Right.
Nah,
I studied that album cover, but you said you was mad at New York. You really had to be mad at New York because here you go, like you wearing the 40 Belows. You wearing the dapper? I'm saying in New York.
I got Speedos.
You
on.
got Speedos on with cowboy boots, my nigga. Like what? Like you was really like.
I said, "Fuck it, man."
You was rebellious,
like on
right?
LA, man. You know, and I didn't live an underground world. When I got to LA, it was an underground. It was like different groups in the underground movement,
right.
and Project Blow and that type of movement. But I separated myself. I was going to clubs and stuff. I felt like I felt like an R&B star when I got to LA when I was working on Sextile, and
right.
the budget I had for the album was like, $500,000 was good in the moving fund. So I was shopping in the Beverly Center and living large. I didn't care about that struggle rap no more. I was like,
you was free.
I was free. I was like, I went out there when rappers had to still, try to get a deal on Melrose, walking up and down Sunset, like looking for a deal, sleeping on. I didn't go to LA like a lot of rappers did, sleeping on couches, and a lot of rappers did that real.
The rock star.
Yeah, rock stars couch surfing and trying to get a deal and sleeping. When I went to LA, I was already ready and set.
But what happened? Because Capitol, why did they hold the record? Was it too crazy for them?
It was too. I had nothing to really work. It was raw. It was so raw. It was just a raw album. They didn't have nothing to go to radio with. Of course, you can't take Sextile to radio. Nothing.
Drinking piss up with your dick out. And, hey,
yeah. So they was like, but it was so raw. I said, fuck it, this is raw. We gonna leave it like this. And you know what happened? They ended up giving me the money for the album. They gave me the money back, and they gave me the album back. So Automator comes to L.A.
Dan, how'd you meet Dan the Automator?
Automator is Kurt's best friend.
Okay.
Automator used to come down and help Kurt with troubleshooting on his equipment. So I bring Menelik out. We do little side things while I'm working on Sextile. I work on some wild track with Menelik, me and him rapping about space. Then we come out with one record called, it was one record we put on the album, on the Octagon album, like something Breakneck Speed or something. Just one record. And Automator said, I like that fucking record. He said, can you come to San Francisco? I want you to just finish this project for some reason. And I went up there, got some Yoo-Hoos and donuts, stayed up there for like 7 days.
You like Yoo-Hoos
and we
donuts?
Came up with Octagon.
Now, who was Dr. Octagon?
Octagon was like a gynecologist, crazy, combined of the sex and everything mixed in a gumbo pot. And doctor and medical, and the shit jumped off to every genre, like the techno world, the rock world, the rap world, alternative. Everybody, I didn't have no idea it would be that big. Now
it's crazy because you're coming off the energy of Sextile, which was basically the invention of pornocore,
which was Cutmaster Kurt production,
right? And then you go into Dr. Octagon with that same mentality.
But in a different twist.
Yeah, and you kind of did what the Wu-Tang did, because what the Wu-Tang did was they took Kung Fu movies and sampled them into the records. You took porn movies and sampled them into Dr. Octagon.
In a hospital sick way. Like,
yes.
And, using skits and stuff.
I love this record right here. This record right here is what made me love this album, the Blue Flowers.
Blue Flowers?
Yes.
That was a big record too. MTV.
This is MTV?
This is when I went to I went to another world.
MTV Music Awards?
Well, I didn't go to awards, but I went. It was just that record took me into that mode of those type of that rock audience. That took me. This album turned me into a rock star.
Yes.
I was no longer an average rapper.
Dr. Octagon, paramedic fetus of the East with priest from the church of the operating room with the strikes of force.
That's crazy.
Since the Holocaust. I do indeed and
you know about this stuff, huh?
Back to rooms with, with the voodoo curse. Holding up office lights, standing at huge heights. Back and forth, left wing, swing to north. East and south with blood pouring down your mouth. I come prepared with the white suit and stethoscope. Listen to your heartbeat. Delete, beat, beat, beat. Your insurance is high, but my price is cheap. Look at the land. Blue flowers, growing by the purple pond. Blue flowers.
That chorus was like out of nowhere. It had no sense to go with the track at all. I just put it there. I was doing tracks of brother and sisterly love and in the daisy age of of whatever
He was a hippie.
unconsciousness and people who want to live life and take mushrooms and see colors and stuff.
Now, did you take drugs, man?
I didn't take drugs.
You never
took drugs. No.
Wow.
You never even smoked
That's
weed?
what people were saying.
You smoke weed?
At one time, I did smoke weed. I didn't take, but people thought I was popping pills and taking way stronger drugs to make an album like this. But I didn't. I just was naturally, I had that in me naturally to make that.
Riesling?
Now,
The Riesling. It wasn't even Riesling. I ain't drinking no Riesling.
Now, you know what's crazy?
Donuts and Yoo-Hoos.
Okay.
You know what's crazy, Keith? Is like, I came up on the Kool Keith from Ultramagnetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is damn near 10 years later. It's a whole generation of kids. And what I realized is a whole bunch of kids
jumped on it.
Didn't know who the hell Kool Keith was.
They knew this.
Didn't know Ultramagnetics. Their first introduction to Kool Keith was Dr. Octagon. So in a sense, you had a second career with this record, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think this record right here
took me into another level.
Gave you the freedom, because this was a project. You never wanted to be Dr. Octagon.
Nah.
But it opened you up to be all these other characters, right?
It just took me into a whole new realm.
Right.
And it erased my whole past.
Right.
So you had kids walking up to me that don't even know, like you said, they don't even know nothing about Poppa Large or nothing. They don't know Ultra from a can of paint. And it just was a whole new field.
And you became a
people.
rock star.
I became a rock star through this.
But what's crazy, like your fortune is so crazy because this next record took you didn't even do nothing with this record, and this record took you to the next level. Yo, play that Smack My Bitch Up, man.
Cheer.
Oh yeah, that was a big record too.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, this was big too.
Damn, L.A. turned to.
I want to talk about the royalties, B.
I got some good royalties.
Yeah, no, you did, my dude.
This was a big record too.
Love this album. Prodigy.
This one of the top 10 videos ever right here. This video is ridiculous.
With that and the Octagon together, that was a ball of fire, huh?
Shit.
This was everywhere.
It's one of my favorite albums.
This sold 3 million.
That's it?
No.
3 million just here.
Worldwide.
3 million, 4 or 5 million.
10 million.
10 million? 10 million. 10 million worldwide.
That's it.
That's wow.
So this group is an English group called Prodigy, right? They had sampled you on another record before.
And on that another album they got.
What was their fascination with Kool Keith, man?
I don't know. I think Liam liked me. We was going to do an album together. I don't know what happened with them. They was busy, but there was a group that come out once in a while, and they come out once in a while with a big record. They don't release every year.
Right. They're one of those studio groups.
Yeah, they might stay. They'll come out every 5 years.
They just put out another one.
But they sampled.
They had a new record out?
Yeah, finally.
But they sampled Switch My Pitch Up, Smack My Bitch Up, which was on your record, Give the Drummer Some, from the Ultramagnetic. And you did another record with them on that album, right?
Diesel Power.
And you rapped on that record.
Yeah, and then I did another record on another album they got. I forgot that other album. With the white artwork on it, beige artwork. It's a beige album.
But this record right here, The Fat of the Land, sold 3 million in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
It sold, as of a couple of years ago, it sold 10 million records worldwide. It's in the Guinness Book of Records for the fastest selling United Kingdom album of all time.
They sold 10 million records.
You still getting those royalties, man?
Yeah, I got some good royalties from them. I got a lot of good checks from them.
But this record right here took you to a whole different level without you even
knowing,
trying to be on a whole different level.
Yeah.
This took you through the rave scene. You know what I'm saying? Like the Beastie Boys had beef with these niggas because they was like, yo, you can't put that record out. I think they was performing together And you know, at the time,
they was on that piece.
There was this was
Buddhist.
a misogynistic record, man. Like this is crazy, B.
That was a big record anyway. I mean, it was a big group. I went on stage with them one time. I just seen their whole aura was big. And they didn't say no lyrics, really.
Right.
You know, you have groups that could sell a lot of records without saying any, they don't have to say a word. They had a lot of sampled records with sounds in them. They didn't say too much on the song.
But this opened you up. Like you eventually worked with Maroon 5 and other rock groups in the whole nine because of Prodigy, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of collabs with rock bands, and you know, I did Warped Tour and stuff. I like you said, I connected with rock in a different way.
Now, Keith, it says, man, that you altogether throughout your career, you've put out 50 albums.
Yeah.
50 albums.
I had the Cenobites with Godfather Don. I had
Black Elvis.
I helped, you know, even Percy P. I spent him into L.A.
Right.
You know, I remember when Peanut Butter Wolf was at Kurt's house, and we did his first single. Then he became Stone's Throw. I had helped a lot of people in the business
and put people on.
Put people on.
Right. And then you did the collaborative album with Ice-T, the Analog Brothers.
The Analog Brothers. Yeah, me and Ice did the album together with Pimpin' Rex, Black Silver, and I did. Me and Kurt did an album with the Diesel Truckers.
Yes.
And, I did Keith Matthew album. I did a lot of albums. Like you're right, I did a lot of albums.
Listen, man. We gotta wrap this up. I could go on and on and on because you've done so much, man. I was looking at this TV show you did last year.
What, Champions?
No, this
The
TV
movie?
show called what's Champions?
Well, that was a movie I did with Danny Trejo, and I got a little acting part in there.
Get out of here.
Look up Champions.
Machete.
Well, what year did you do that, man?
I don't know. It was a while ago. It was like I got a few parts in there.
Oh, word? I gotta check
Champions.
that shit. Champion, but I see
with Kim Shamrock.
Okay, I've
Who,
seen
the wrestler?
You remember that? Well, it was a movie, a little B movie.
Porno.
I
Not
saw,
porno, though.
I saw you on this TV show, like this small online TV show called The Kool Keith Show.
Oh, okay.
With Funny or Die.
Right.
And in it, you was doing it with George Clinton.
Well, yeah.
What was that, man?
I was trying to. We were trying to do some pilots and stuff, but I was going to try to shoot for some television movies and stuff like that. But I was just sometimes be in LA joking around, just shooting some pilots, making people trip out on different concepts that I had.
That shit was mad trippy, and like you had different characters, like Lotion Man.
Lotion Man, yeah, you see that?
I seen Lotion Man. You was squirting lotion on.
No, but I was trying to get I wanted to do it. I didn't want to really release that. It leaked out.
Right.
Are you talking with Bushman and all that?
Yeah, Bushman and all of that.
I wanted to finish that into a whole sequel and a whole scenario of a movie. Not a movie, but a TV show.
Right. So are you doing anything else on the TV side right now?
No, I'm getting ready to, but what I got, I'm working on more albums.
Okay.
And traveling. I'm touring. I got an action figure out, Dr. Octagon action figure.
Who's doing the act? Wait.
It's a guy.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. One of my biggest regrets in life, because I collect action figures, is I never got the
Octagon.
No. I never got the Doom. I never got the MF Doom.
MF Doom
figure.
Never saw that.
So if you got when is that coming out, Keith?
It's out already.
It's out.
Yeah,
Yo,
you can get Eric. I'm gonna tell Eric to get you.
please.
Two of them
Yeah,
joints.
you can paint it too.
It's got the skull and all that?
No, Octagon
holding the skull.
Yeah.
Yo, and you're getting a piece of that, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I want to make you can paint yours too.
Nice.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna paint my
yours.
shit. I don't got no time for no arts. I'm a grown ass
You don't want to
man.
fuck it up. Right?
I'm a grown.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm
that
leaving that
grown.
shit
I'm not
blank.
that
Arts and
grown.
crafts.
I'm not that grown.
Sometimes you don't want it sitting plain on your
Yeah,
table.
no,
You
listen.
want to try some color.
No, listen, man. I'm not that.
You might fuck it up, right?
I'm not that. I'm not that
Yeah,
grown
I'll
to have
fuck it
an
up.
action
Yeah.
figure.
You don't know what you're doing, huh?
I'm not that grown to have an action figure, but I'm too grown to be fucking painting some action figure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you got what records are you
The
working on?
Octagon is an action figure.
What records are you working on right now?
Well, I'm doing my producer, my number one producer stuff.
Right.
I'm doing a lot of number one producer stuff.
What do you mean number one producer?
That's my ID. Yeah.
Okay.
Number one producer. I'm on a lot of songs and I'm producing a lot of stuff for myself and I've been programming beats. That's been a good thing in my career, learning how to program, because Said never taught me and TR never taught me, and I was around everybody that had drum machines and they were selfish, and I had to learn. And so that became a good thing for me to learn Pro Tools and stuff like that.
So you're producing now?
Yeah, I've been producing.
Okay.
I want to get tracks into everybody that, I think a lot of, the reason why I started producing, because I think a lot of producers don't feel what you wrote and they don't match what you want to say with the content of the music. Like you don't hear the content behind a person's lyrics no more. Like I think a producer don't know a person's background. Like when you fly from the Bronx and get off in LA, that producer in LA don't know what you came from.
There's no context.
Yeah, he's making a beautiful beat he heard from in the sun in LA. But
Palm trees.
You might have flew from
cockroaches.
Somebody got shot.
Right.
That's when I got into my own beats and making beats, because I felt like some days you want to match what you're saying.
Okay, and
with the background.
And you guys showed me a video. It looked like a reunion of Ultramagnetic.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, Ultra's working on some tracks and stuff like that. They gradually, I won't say coming back. They're just going to put maybe some more records out. But they're not trying to do Critical Beatdown over again.
Right.
They're just trying to make a record. They don't want the critics to be, this is not compared to the past.
And you're part of the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
I come and do stuff with them. But
okay.
we don't want to be compared to our past.
You can't. It's hard to compare to your past. As a matter of fact.
And then people ask me, "What's your best album? Was it Dr. Octagon? Was it Black Elvis? Was it?" I just say all those albums are different. They're not better than each other.
Right.
They were just different records.
What's your favorite album, man? Kool Keith.
Probably Dr. Octagon. I gotta say this: Half Man, Half Shark.
Oh yeah,
that is like one of my favorite records ever. Ever.
That's what we saying. Those albums, Octagon was a good album. I like Octagon too. It's just that
to me, it's hard to judge between
really make each one of them.
Octagon and Critical Beatdown, though, man.
Like you say, they're so different. It's
like Black Elvis is his own album. A lot of people. What killed me with Black Elvis was I was producing Nightcrawler because they said the producer could never do his own album. A lot of people like the Black Elvis, but I had to hide behind the production.
Why?
Because people don't want to hear somebody did their own beats,
right? And is it all? Did it also have something to do with the fact that you actually, when you got to LA, you kind of hustled the industry and had mad deals?
Yeah, I had a lot of deals
that you shouldn't have had.
Yeah, California was a big payoff for me. It was like a big slot machine when I got there.
Right.
I pulled.
How many deals did you have at one point, man?
In LA, I had about 5 record deals. Dr. Doom was signed. Like you said, Matthew was signed. Black Elvis was signed. I got all those deals in L.A. Sextile was signed.
And they never got mad at you, man?
I don't know. I just changed my name. They could never catch me because I was a person. I just was many people putting out all those records. Right. I know you seen it at the same time, same releases. I was never going to get caught up in one record deal. A lot of these dudes were stuck in contracts for years.
And you kind of, in a sense, man, broke the mold of reinvention. I mean, we've seen that happen with, once again, Doom. You know what I'm saying? What's the situation you feel like in terms of, you've been vocal about someone like a Andre 3000 kind of lifting your style in terms of creativity and the limitation that was once seen in hip hop?
Well, Outkast, Public Enemy at least acknowledged that they
were inspired
where they was inspired.
Right.
But I think Outkast, I mean, maybe what's the other rapper?
Big Boy.
He took a lot of consideration and time out to honor where a lot of his influence came from with me. But I think the 3000 dude was a little too much into himself, as he did everything and he forgot, like he didn't get anything from nowhere.
Right.
But when you see him and you see stuff that he's doing, you're like, okay, this is a lot of things that seem like I've done before. It was kind of like, you know how Rick James always tell Prince off?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the same kind of thing.
But you're not really offended.
No, I wasn't offended, but I'm shocked at the arrogance of that type of thing. That person that can really go for the rest of his life and never make any kind of comment.
Acknowledgement. What do you listen to right now, man?
I listen to all the rappers. You know, I listen to everybody. I know I never have a limitation to what I listen to. I listen to every rapper because.
What do you like?
I like rappers I can hear clearly. I don't like rappers that I can't. Like my various. I would still listen to Kool Keith rap. I listen to Jadakiss. I still listen to Wu-Tang. I still listen to I listen to Southern rappers. I listen to Texas rappers, West Coast. You know, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I listen to E40. I have a wide range of listening because when I was on my tour bus, I bought all kinds of rappers, Brother Lynch Hung. I have a big wide range of, listening, rappers from the Midwest, Chicago, Boston, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. Rick Ross is a lyrical person that kind of brought lyricism to Miami.
Right.
So.
I'm glad that you acknowledge that, man.
Yeah, so it's like, I listen to everybody to know where I'm at.
Right.
I listen to everybody to know where I'm at. A lot of people who don't do that, they so stuck on not listening till they forgot how they don't sound good.
Right. So listen, let's do this, man. You got this record coming out, right? Tell us about this record coming out.
Which one?
This record you gave us.
Oh, well, I got a record I'm gonna play on there. I got a record called, I got my love record on there. I got
doing love songs right now?
Yeah, well, I got a love song on there.
Maybe making music.
Out of this album, what's the name of this album?
This is called. Well, this is Love and Danger. I had this out. This is still new anyway, but
okay.
I'm saying I got a song on there called. What was it called? Let me see. I make so many songs I don't know no more.
Yo, you ever do you remember all the songs?
I don't remember
done?
none. I don't. Not all of them. This song. What's that song say?
Something special.
Something special. Yeah.
So you want to hear something special?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, my growth. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bikinis in the bra.
Crazy.
As Puffy would say, take that, take that.
Crazy.
I got my feeling tight, girl. You make me think about you. I'm all around. I'm all around.
All around.
You say you worried about me. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
It's more to me.
You produce this?
It's more to you. It's what I believe. Got my shirt, silky pants.
Chill.
Girl, you something special.
I change up.
It's got that Pharrell type vibe.
Yeah, that's you singing?
It's me.
Girl, your temperature feel good. You got me buying my Joseph a Bud. Spank you if I could. Make your body burn
I
like
do a little
fire
bit of
with
everything.
pressure.
Yeah.
But I'm an artist that can get away with it.
Take two, holding your flame. I might insert in your kind. Black ivory blow your mind. I flip on your thong design. Lotion you up with calamine. Pull up in your car.
Lotion you up with calamine.
Where can the people find everything that you're doing?
They can hit me on Ultraman 7000 Twitter.
Okay.
Ultraman 7000 Twitter. And definitely, join that Twitter page, and that's when they're going to hear my #1 producer and catch me on all the, my Instagram and all that. But Ultraman 7000 Twitter.
What's your Instagram?
Kool Keith. And, my official, I got my official page coming up.
Website?
My website is koolkeith.com. My original #1 producer, but you can reach me through Ultraman Twitter for bookings and everything. And of course, I'm doing verses, still doing features. And
You did something recently with Rock Marciano, right?
Yeah, Rock Mars.
What up, Rock?
I I do everything. I work with. I just did something with Necro.
Necro, okay.
Yeah, I just did stuff. I'm always doing features and stuff.
Yo, Keith, man, I got to tell you, man.
My cadence still the same, brand new. You know, my voice
still rocking out.
I'm still rocking out.
Still crazy as a fox.
And I'm still doing the shows and stuff. I'm traveling.
And you selling? Are you selling these scars, man? Are you collecting
I'm
them?
not selling them. I collect them, but I can definitely maybe cut you one up or something one day. I cut you one up.
Yeah,
I get you one. I get y'all one.
That shit got so much glitter on it. I'm looking at your cheekbone.
It's like a new. It's like a new.
I see you, cool.
It's like a new piece of jewelry.
Yes, I like that, man. Listen, Keith, I got to tell you, man, as a fan of music, man, I just got to thank you for, all these years of entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
I know I put a lot of work in, right? When James Brown, the hardest working man.
Yeah, from what I understand, man, your work ethic.
I could have gave up,
but you can't.
Yeah,
and you can't.
And he didn't. And you
won't.
Before you go, I want to say this for you just doing so many albums, for you just doing so many. I mean, you've been around for so long.
I reinvented myself. I mean,
time and time again. But I want to know this. I want to know two questions. I want to know what you feel like you gave hip hop, or you gave the music, business, and what do you feel like you got back?
I gave people freedom. I gave artists a change to be different, to feel that they can be different. They don't have to, kids coming up don't have to feel they all got to be a gangster. Kids don't all have to pop bottles. Kids don't all have to do the same thing. I gave them.
Kids don't have to wear Speedos.
Yeah, and they can all be anything they want.
Right.
They can be. It's no limitation. Like, you can be anything. You want to call yourself MC Eggshell, you can rap about eggs the whole album. But I'm just saying, I gave them that lane to say it's no laws.
You can rap about anal monkey warts.
Yeah, check it out. It's no
ceiling to this shit, man.
It's no limitation.
No limitation.
And no A&R to say you can't do that. Because I had fought that for years.
Right.
That was the fight, like Martin Luther King. I marched and set freedom for creativity freedom. I marched for the music. I marched for hip hop for freedom.
Because you had a dream.
And what has it given you? I mean, you gave it. What has it given you, bro?
I did what I did, like Rosa Parks. Now a lot of rappers can sit on the creativity bus and do what they want. I gave them the freedom. I marched for freedom, and I went through a lot. Like, right. I like you said, I got criticized and stuff. Magazines, different magazines and stuff. But I did that. I think I opened doors for a lot of creativity.
Right.
People can do different things. People can be Missy Elliott. People can do the Outkast. People can do Danny Brown. People can do. I opened up those doors.
Kid Cudi.
Yeah, people can do Kid Cudi.
Kanye West.
People could do Kanye West, and people could do anything.
Yes,
anything they want to do now, and I think, I just didn't get the proper. I didn't receive my trophy yet from all these type of networks.
But you got longevity.
Yeah, these networks, and I just wish a lot of these networks and stuff start to realize and see it, but they kind of poorly educated.
Right. Well, hopefully this episode is going to educate a lot of people, man.
Yeah, and like you said, hopefully we be at a couple of these honorary events that they recognize what's going on for
like
real.
The hip hop honors or something like that.
Well, everything, even BET and all that stuff, they don't have the proper education no more. They teaching kids to, like, ripping pages out the Bible, telling people to, and I'm very surprised that what's her name, the lady who owns it, Deborah Lee is just being blinded, walking around with a cane,
or the blind leading
with a blind lady, a blind woman that's not seeing anything. Maybe she has a black dog that's leading her around, and she's touching things without knowing. In Braille, it's got to be enhanced.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Well, Keith, man, once again, man, thanks for coming on the Combat Jack Show.
Of course,
Ben Hameen, always good to see you.
Thanks for coming. Thank y'all for having me out here. exposing more that should be leaked out that people want to keep a secret. Martin Luther King March. I marched for creativity, freedom.
Yeah. So where's the Black Elvis
wig?
I
think I threw that wig away. I was wearing that wig so much I taped it. I had to tape. I had pull it off. My sideburns used to be,
jacked up.
It was a lot with I had the glue, the real burning glue.
You had to put the custom glue?
Yeah, real glue and stuff.
Nah, man, fuck that.
That wig made me money though. That wig made me good, like 10 grand a night sometimes.
Damn, you still doing a lot of shows?
Yeah, I'm still doing a lot of shows and stuff. I'm traveling next week. Week after that, I'm doing a show in New York that y'all gonna come to.
Yes,
most definitely.
Where?
And a couple of weeks later, I'm Brooklyn.
Okay,
I might have my band
Brooklyn
out there.
Bowl or something.
My band. I did Brooklyn Bowl already. I did everywhere, every club, theater, festival. I have no problem being picky.
From pubs to festivals.
From pubs to festivals. I do mostly festivals. Little clubs, sometimes intimate, BB Kings. I've done it all. I was playing BB Kings when now you got big groups going, and you got Patti LaBelle going to BB Kings now. Groups like In Vogue, and I was going to BB Kings even when rappers didn't even go in there. They wasn't even going in BB Kings. I was doing shows. Now you see Stephanie Mills and them in there, but Earth, Wind, and Fire go in there now,
and that's because of you.
I would do these places that they was turning down.
Right. Well, Keith, man, once again, brother, thank you. Internet's, you know what it is. Dream those dreams and man up and live those dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white.
Oh, you sound like Mr. Magic. What he used to say?
And the universe
by yourself,
flows.
you would. No, do we remember the Magic? What did he say? Till we return to burn. I can't.
Somebody stop my.
No, power through that comment.
Let me learn. I gotta learn yours.
No, what did Mr. Magic used to say?
Till we return to burn and earn. And a wise man, a foolish man, can learn from his. I don't know that though. Anybody know Mr. Magic?
And buy yourself or find yourself by yourself. But this is dream those dreams and man up and live those dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white, and the universe flows in Technicolor and surround sound.
Blah.
But I'm going to tell you, Keith, that's real on point, because when I created this, I thought about Mr. Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is like paying homage to Mr. Magic.
Yeah, he used to say that
and
one.
Frankie Crocker and the DJs from back in the day.
Frankie Crocker. They don't know who Frankie Crocker is. You know Frankie Crocker.
Come on.
You know what?
Number one chief rocker, Frankie Crocker.
So that's why I say this, man. This is paying homage to the cats that opened up the doors for us.
Yeah.
Yo, Keith, thank you very much, man.
Of course. Thank
Word.
you. Thank you. And it was a pleasure to be here.
Yes,
Definitely.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. It was a great honor and pleasure to be here.
There you go. Peace.
Salute.
Cheer.
Yeah.
Illuminati!
This episode of the Combat Jack Show was produced by Jonathan Mena, executive produced by A. King and Chris Morrow, engineered by Samir Karan, and recorded in the Engine Room Audio Studio in downtown Manhattan. This is an official Loudspeakers Networks production.